so here you go. So the partner gets up here on the butterfly guard position, and the guy's going to try to pull you back down. So instead of pushing my opponent back down and kind of exposing my weight, making my legs light where he can lift me up and get X guard and stuff, we're going to go ahead and actually hunker down a little bit lower, put my hand on the floor, and sit my butt even further back lower. So even if Root tries to lift me up, okay, I'm pretty heavy here. This hand, I'm going to go across the neck so I can get that frame, elbow in hand. And we're going to work our underhook. Once I get my underhook here, this is my underhook, but it's his overhook. So I can't lay him towards my underhook. And I don't want to necessarily lay him flat, because then he can just lift and hit that butterfly sweep, right? So we're going to go in the opposite direction and really drop him here. Okay? I like to put my hand on the floor as much as I can so he can't lay his shoulder back on the ground. From this position, I stay very low. Okay? So I'm going to back step my right foot, and I like to stay low on his body. My ear will be on his sternum. When I back step this leg, I can undo his hook, and I'm going to come back center. So I have a half butterfly hook and half outside hook. So from this position, if the guy really wants to recover butterfly guard, he'll put this foot on the floor and strip out. Boom. Okay? And then get that foot back in. So one more time. If we're here, and this foot's on the outside, and he goes to shrimp, this leg will end up going flat, so it's easy for me to switch on top. I'm going to climb above his knee and then work my way to pass. So we'll be here again. We'll start from this position. I back step. Here. He tried to recover his butterfly by shrimping. And once he gets flat, I just hook over the top. Okay? I'm going to slide my head underneath his cheek. Okay, here. And start driving him up with my head. Go over the top with my knee. And I have him looking the other direction. And this hand will just take over. Go underneath his head and switch the side body. We get that good control over it. Okay, so there's number one. Here, we go to control, we get the underhook, we drop him to this side. We back step, and we're here. This time he doesn't shrimp, and he decides to lock everything. So instead of keeping this knee free, he shoots it all the way through and locks the half guard. Okay? Now I'm going to have a hard time hitting that position, so from this low position here, I'm going to make sure I stay underneath his armpit. I just slide my hand under his armpit and just sit in reverse Keisakatami position. My left knee, I'm going to keep next to his hip here. Okay, don't let him sit on your hip, on your knee, because you're going to have a hard time freeing your leg later. So make sure your knee is right next to his hip, and he's going to lock his triangle in two ways. This way is the most common, or he's going to switch and lock it the other way. Good. Okay, those two. So this is the most common way. Once he hooks here, got my foot up, I'm going to control this outside portion of his pant. Number one, it's easier to grab. There's always a wrinkle there. So I grab here, and I'm going to be pulling. Okay, because just the way his foot's aligned, it's easier for me to pull this knee this way than it is for me to push past his foot hook. So I grab here. I'm going to start to pull towards kind of like a lat pull here. And once I undo this, go and lock up again. I pull here. I'm going to keep my foot on the floor and open my knee outwards and stretch his leg out. And that's why it's important to keep this knee on his hip so I can pull this outwards comfortably versus him on top of my foot. Because when I do this motion here, I'm going to end up pulling his body even higher on me. Okay? So make sure your knees to the side. He locks the triangle again. Okay? I pull and open. Okay? To clear, I'm going to go ahead and just extend my calf to his Achilles and rotate so my knee's facing the floor. Okay? When my knee goes towards the floor, my heel goes up, and then I egg beater around here. If I can, I'm going to try to get my knee underneath his knee and then scoop underneath. But as you see here, once I do this, his leg's already touching the floor. I can use his lack of flexibility by pulling this way, and you'll see that this leg moves up. Okay, then I just slide my leg underneath. So I'll just go here. If I can't get my knee underneath, lift. Side position. So that was number two. Position here, we block, control, underhook, and drop my opponent to the side. I'm laying low, I back step, I hook. He gets the half guard again, okay, and then I shoot underneath his armpit, reverse Keisakatami, my knee's already wedged in and we're here. Okay, we went for number two here, and then he switched his triangle leg. Bang. Now it's very hard for me to pull because of his foot hook on this side. Once this happens, we're going to switch. Hand on his pelvic bone, my elbow on the inside of his thigh. Easiest way to remember this, put this elbow on your quadricep. Here. Okay? And then I'm going to keep walking my foot, heel, toe, like a lift. I'm going to keep lifting his butt off the floor. The closer I get my leg 90 degrees, the easier it is to lock. push his leg right off. If I have this straight, okay, like a ramp, I can push it off, but he can just slide it right back up. So I want to make sure that I can either grab my own foot or just walk heel tilt. Okay? Hand on my thigh, push it straight off here. Once my knee's free, I'm free to pass. So here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to get long with our upper body and really start to trap, okay, with my armpit and tricep on his arm. And I'm going to go knee across the mount position as I keep smearing him the other direction. So I'm getting this kind of motion. His lower body's going this way with my knee slide, and his upper body's going the other way here. It's very easy to clear your foot in this direction. So we're here again. Locks his triangle the other way. Yeah, here. Boom. Walk heel tilt, push. And I get long up high in here. Okay. Much easier to clear the foot if you've got this pressure. Okay. I can't pull this way, so I block his hip. Elbow on my quadricep. Walk my toe up, push. I start to hit this, and he slides his arm out. I catch with the underhook here, lift, and knee slide across. In this position, at any time he goes to put his foot on the floor to bridge, and he's going to bridge hard, boom, this way, okay, whether it's here or from the other triangle position. Yep, and he bridges hard, boom. Okay, I have this other foot perpendicular, and my toe active as a short little mini kickstand. So I should be able to withstand some of his bridge power. Okay, but he has to be able to open his legs to bridge. So if he locks the triangle the way he just did, he's going to have this foot as a bridge power. This I should be able to withstand with my foot. If he opens his leg and then bridges here, now he's got a stronger bridge power than my short kickstand. So this is where I have to kick my leg free. Okay? When I kick this leg free, try not to drag your heel back, kick this way and over. So I'm going to kind of kick at this angle and then over high, so I have my big kickstand here. If I do that fast enough and effectively enough, I should be able to kick over his foot. If he locks the triangle the other direction, he's not going to have any bridge power. My short kickstand should be able to withstand because it's just that foot and there's not a lot of power because it's the opposite direction. So go ahead and try to bridge with that. Okay, so there's not a lot of power, I should be fine. If he's here, he has to open. Okay, so when he goes to open, same thing, kick him back. Okay? Or you can time it so as soon as he goes to open, boom, I can just sit and switch. So those are your options there.